part 7 of episode 81. We're talking about the I Quit match at Extreme Rules 2013 between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger for the number one contendership. This all came about because Dolph Ziggler had his concussion, which is a shame because this match would have been better if it was a ladder match and it included Dolph Ziggler, but it was not bad. I mean, it was like we had said before. I commend WWE. They did the best of the possible situations that they could have done with a bad situation. They could not have booked a better match. In theory,
storyline wise,
yeah, it was absolutely perfect. You go with an I Quit match with two people that have a finishing move that's a submission move, all this other kind of stuff. When it came to the finish of the match, and Zeb Coulter threw the towel in and all that, my friend Dane goes nuts because he's fucking all pro Jack Swagger, and he's just like, yes, that's fucking like, the happiest person I've ever seen for a Jack Swagger win. And I completely didn't see that coming. So to me, that was like, oh shit, this is cool. And then it was like, now we're randomly going to
replay.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that. But at least they gave me that shock for a little bit, and that actually kind of helped Jack Swagger look a little bit better in the process. I didn't think that was going to end up being a priority, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe that just happened.
My biggest pet peeve with the match, and I don't know if any of you got pissed off or annoyed with this, the referee didn't even let them go 5 minutes with beating each other up with regular wrestling maneuvers, and every second, Alberto, do you want to quit? No. Jack, do you want to quit? 2 seconds after. No. And then it's like every 5 seconds he was asking them if they want to quit. And let them get beaten the shit out of with like a kendo stick for 10 minutes before you ask them that. Let them be getting choked out by the ropes. Make them, if they're in actual pain and agony and you think they have a chance of quitting after being beaten up for 5 to 10 minutes, not every two, shove a microphone in their face and ask them. That was obnoxious as fuck, and it took away from the match for me.
I think they should have gone the way that Rock and Mick Foley did theirs, where they just let the wrestlers ask each other if they quit or not. It would have at least kept the pace going.
Yeah, because that just slowed down the fucking pace. And just because he's in a headlock, you don't need to ask him if he wants to quit. When would anybody else ever just tap out to being in a headlock that's slowing down the pace of the match on purpose?
I think it would have been a lot more interesting if they took a hint from Tom Green, and every time the referee put the mic in front of their face to ask them if they quit, there was a piece of poo on it.
Yeah, that bothers me.
I gotta watch that matchup again.
I did not like the finish with the usual cross arm breaker, that causes Swagger to quit. After they found the instant replay, I thought that it was overbooked. It kind of took away from the finish. The original Zeb Coulter one would have been fine, even though they didn't even make that throwing in the towel could make you win the match. You're supposed to just say, I quit. Apparently towels are white flags for quitting or whatever. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. That was not a rule until it happened. It didn't even matter anyway because the cross-arm breaker ended up winning. But the referee was obnoxious. I like some of the action that they did with the kendo stick and, beating the shit out of each other. The work rate was good when it was not being slowed down by a microphone in their face. But overall, I guess I probably had over expectations for this match. I was expecting it to be better than it was. Maybe that's just, wishful thinking on my part, but I was a little disappointed with it. And I also felt that, for an I Quit match of this magnitude, it was just a tad too short as well.
It did feel a little bit short. I don't know what the number ended up being. Does anybody have that?
It wasn't very long.
I believe it was about 13 minutes. Let me check. Oh, no, wait. 11 minutes, 19 seconds.
That's including, the whole, let me check the video screen time. So it's not even part of the ring action. So, all in all, it was good. It was nothing great, but fuck that referee, seriously.
I thought it was funny, of course, that we had the "We Won Ziggler" chants. Because I was thinking the same thing. I don't know. I mean, when you're talking about how I did not like this pay-per-view, this wasn't one of the main reasons why. I'll give this a little bit of leeway, especially because I'm going to run the shit down of 2 matches. But it did what it's supposed to do, and they threw a little monkey in the wrench there. So, um, whatever. Anybody else? Any other thoughts I haven't touched upon, or anybody else hasn't?
I don't really care much for the instant replay being brought so much into wrestling these days. I don't know if anybody else feels the same
No,
way.
that's
I said,
horrible.
they're doing it a lot, and now it kind of explains things a lot more due to the fact that they've recently are trying to establish a relationship with the NFL. So that's probably bringing a lot into it.
But then you let other cheap victories go when they have instant replay right afterwards, and the referees don't do anything about it.
They're doing instant replays in an attempt to establish a relationship with the NFL.
They're trying to establish a relationship.
Is this what the sheets are saying these days?
Well, no, what I mean is like you see they use that for.
It's on scoopscoopscoops.com.
Yeah, that's a total scoopscoopscoops.com
Anyway,
story.
as I was trying to say, they have that happen, and then the next week you could have somebody get punched behind the ref's back, and then somebody takes advantage of it and gets a finish dirtily. Or dirty, whatever, and then it replays right away, and they show you, oh, look at how he won. That's what a cheap victory, and then the referee doesn't reverse the decision after that. And there's an instant replay on the Titantron right after that. You don't see the referee going, well, now that I see that, we're going to restart this match.
It's a storyline crutch, basically.
Yes.
It's basically they pull it out when they need to extend a storyline to another pay-per-view or to another matchup. That's basically what it is, and the big problem is going to be when they overuse it, when it becomes something that you start to expect.
Hope not.
WWE is going to overuse it. They overuse everything,
gimmick, and they're gonna overuse the gimmick. And that is the truth to the matter. They're trying to establish themselves as something different with this. For me, if the referee in an industry where the referee turns their back to allow a heel to beat down on someone, using instant replays is going to really hurt things.
It's a plot hole. It's what it's going to become.
It already is, technically.
See, I don't think this is that much of a big deal. I think this is just, they've done it before. They'll do it again. We're not going to see it for a while. I don't think this is going to be something that we're going to, at the next pay-per-view, they're going to have a match that has some kind of an instant replay, or even, I don't even think we're going to see it for the whole rest of the year.
I'm glad. Hopefully we don't, because it's stupid. It takes the validity of dirty finishes in wrestling right away. I mean, if they could do it one time on a tiny little screen by the timekeeper, why can't they fucking do it when it's on the Titantron?
Right.
That's my whole point.
Oh, that probably rounds out everything that we were going to talk about with this. Everybody excited about Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler, or?
It's going to be a far better match than this was.
All right, next one we're going to talk about is Tornado Tag Team Championship match between Team Hell No and The Shield.